We have these covers for the terminals. So it comes with a foam on top for protection. And here you can see this is the manual that comes with it. All the instruction is being stated clearly on the manual. Okay, that's good. So follow the manual. Clearly on the side there's a padding foam. Like I said, this is seawater energy. So it comes with nylon as well, so that you can have some level of protection. So there's an handle, but I've seen the physical before now. So there's an handle on this side. So it's quite heavy. So you can see this is inside of the box, nothing else, no cables to connect. So you have to buy a cable too. So this is a metal box. Okay, so this is a metal box, and yeah, this terminals looks strong. These are 200 amps rated terminals, so you won't have any issues with terminals, so it won't get hot. And you have a touch screen, so you can see it's on by default, so it's on already. So you can see that's the temperature sensor. This screen looks nice actually. So this is a touch screen, so you touch to cycle to see this voltage 13.1. Throwback to my experience with Seawatt when they first launched. So they launched in 2023 thereabout. So I got their 48 volt 100 amp hours lithium battery. Okay, so the black one, those ones that use 100 amp hour cells. So I tested the capacity, and the capacity did not meet up to my expectation of 5,120 watt hours that is rated for. So they told me, I reached out to their rep and they say, okay, this is 80% BOD and all that. I say, no, this is meant to test 100% on the DC side, regardless of what my AC conversion is. Okay, so we argued that, and they say, okay, that's how it works. And I went into the cell and check what brand of cells they used. So on checking, I got to know that it's 86 amp hour cells cartel that they use. Though during that period the price was super good. I actually like the battery. The battery is still working till date, and there's no issue till date. So I did capacity testing. They passed the cells, and you can see the teardown of the battery. They use a fuse, they use a breaker, they use 200 amp BMS, and everything just looks good on the internal. So I gave it to them and say, okay, yes, for the price I feel I get what my I got what I paid for. Okay, so I got what I paid for on that deal. Okay, because the average price of a 5 kilowatt battery for the full capacity is around 1 million thereabout, but I got that way less than that. So I did my math and say, okay, so if it's 86 amp hours battery I got for this amount, then it's worth it. Okay, so I will also review the price of this, because this price is pretty low. So I got it at a very low price. Okay, so that's why I'm also doing the capacity test and full review of this. So let's go into the capacity testing. I'm trying to take this to my testing rig. Then I noticed this. There was no sign of fall, or maybe here, maybe the battery fell on transportation, so I'm not too sure. Okay, this is the carton. So the carton does not show any sign except for this. So I don't really know. I felt this was broken during transportation. So I'll open this up. So it means I will have to start with the teardown of this. So I've got the batteries, and I can't reform it. So I don't know. So it might be from the rider. So I don't want to go into any argument and all. Let me just do the teardown and see. Okay. So we are doing the teardown even before the capacity testing. So this is how the cells comes off. Okay, so we need to be careful with this so we don't short, because all these are metal. So you can see this is the inside. the meter is just a voltmeter. It does not show capacity. So you can see it's just 2 wires that goes into it. So when I was touching, it was only showing the temperature. It's a temperature sensor and a digital meter. Only cycle the voltage and temperature. Okay, so the stage is set. So the first thing we are doing is to charge this battery up to the maximum it can charge to. So I'm going to be setting the inverter to charge to 14.1 thereabouts, and let's see how much capacity we can get from this battery. Okay, so this is the CWatt 100 amp hours. It is rated for so it is rated for 1.28 kilowatt hours. Okay, so it is rated for 1.28 kilowatt hours on DC. So we're going to be measuring how many kilowatts we're going to get from the batteries. Okay, so let's go. Let's charge the battery first. So we're still charging the battery here. So you can see we are still charging at about 57 amps, basically 0.57 C of the rated capacity. So this inverter is on charge mode, so it's just charging. Okay, it's only charging at the moment. So 700 watts going into the battery at about 53. This is wrong, so they're charging at 58 range. That's it. So the battery is full, so we'll go ahead and reset all this and start the capacity testing. Okay, so we're clear. So this battery was about 40% when we received it, and we have charged it up. So this was 300 before I cleared it. It was showing 364. So it means we charge about 60 amp hours into the battery. So okay, so currently we have about 1200 watts going into the battery, and already I'm powering my house load at the moment with about 400 watts. So this 400 watts will be going on the CWatt battery now. Okay, so we'll be testing. So I want this test to be done. This is a wrong time to do this test because I have full sun power and my battery will be charging very fast, which is not recommended, but I don't have choice now. I have to just do it. So this battery has been reset to 100%. Everything is completed. You can see it's resting at 13.5 volts. Let's confirm from their own screen. So 13.6 as well. So we're waiting for this to click. Okay, good. So now we have light here and we can move on to switch. So now all the energy is coming from this inverter. So you can see the current load is about 180 watts, 200 watts range. Okay, so the freezer has not kicked in yet. Okay, so I have solar assistant connected to this inverter as well. So to test, yes. So once the freezer kicks in, the current will increase and my load will be back to about 300 watt range. Okay, so my battery is charging pretty fast. So 63% here. We are getting about 1.6 kilowatt from the panel. And our test is going on. So we have done about 44 amp hours now. So we have done 44 amp hours and our average load is about, so our average load is about 400 watts thereabouts. So you can say we've been doing 400 watts for a while. And the battery voltage, you can see this is the battery voltage. So you can see we started right around 13 volt and currently we are at 12.8, 12.9 range. So you can see this is 12.9 on the battery. Okay, so it's almost 3 o'clock now and my bigger battery is almost full, 90% there, about 1 kilowatt from the sun. Yes, so we're back to this test and here we can see we have done 94 amp hours. Okay, so I'm trying to get this on camera as much as possible. So you can see the battery temperature went as high as 40 degrees. This is about 11 volts. So it's almost shutting down now. So let's watch what voltage will this battery shut down, at what voltage. Okay, so it's barely 100 amp hours. So when I was charging, it was stopping at around 14 volts thereabout. So it did not allow me to charge. So you can see that is LO. So there's a symbol LO there. So 10 volts. So we're almost done. So 99 amp hours. Not bad. 1.26 kilowatt hours. Okay, the inverter is dropping. So 99.7. Almost 10 volts now. Okay, so any moment from now, so 99.9, 100. So we are off. 100. Okay, so the inverter shut down and not the battery. Okay, so let's switch. Now we're switching back to the other inverter now. Yes, that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more of this. Okay, at 3:30 we are pumping water for the house because we've not had lights for about 4 days now. So I'm pumping water for the house. So you can see our load is about 1.7 kilowatt plus the pumping machine. Alright, panel is only doing 1 kilowatt, so the water will soon be full, then we'll have to charge back again. Okay, so we're back here to charge the battery up. Okay, so we're back to the charging station. So you can see this current is dropping pretty fast, and you can see this column meter has counted back up, that we are now at 99%, and you can see this has read 100 amp hours again. So we have charged back 100 amp hours into this battery, and the battery is currently at 14.1 volts. Okay, so the battery is almost at 100% again, and the current is dropping pretty fast. So any moment from now the cutoff should happen, so it should stop charging the battery altogether. So you can see this column meter is very handy. It's saying 0 minutes to reach 100%, and you can see the current is tapping down super fast. So we charge at 1.36 kilowatt hour, but we discharged at 1.27 kilowatt hours. Why is that? So I will explain. When we charge, we charge at higher battery capacity, higher battery voltage, but when we discharge, you can see the voltage is dropping. So that's why you have this higher kilowatt hours. So when we charge at 14 volts thereabouts, and when we discharge at the battery voltage and lower. So that's why we have the watt hours like this and the battery. So this is a typical discharge curve on lithium batteries and charge curve on LFP battery. So we started the charge around 12 and we complete the charge around here. So you can see that sharp movement. Okay, so that sharp movement from 14 volts to 14.4 thereabouts. Yes, and that's where the battery cut off. Okay, so we're done. So let's go and see what cells they used. We wanted to know how many units of electricity we charge with. So how much electricity? So you can see 1.52 kilowatt hours. So that's 1.52 kilowatt hours of energy was drained from the grid to charge this battery to 100%. So I'm on band B, so if I'm to pay for electricity, I'm going to be paying 67 naira times 1.5. Okay, 67 times 1.5, that's around 100 naira or so to charge this battery from 0 to 100. So what type of cell was used? So this will be easy for me to unscrew. So I'll go through this. So this is the output. The BMS is still working, it's still connected, but I'll remove this stop. So this is a form of compression plate. These are epoxy boards on the side. Okay, so I'll remove this. All right. So we need to be careful here so that we don't short the terminals. Okay. All right. So this comes off right away. Okay, so this comes off right away, and yeah, so we must not allow this to short. And here we have CATL, the top manufacturer of lithium batteries in China. So this looks like this looks like a 105 amp hours battery, but we'll do the math. Upon close inspection, I noticed so many things about this cell. So this place in particular does not look like a new cell. Okay, so all this does not look like a new cell. Okay, so you can see all this like looking like harvested cells. Okay, you can see this is three
0.84 watt hour. That is divide by 3.2 will give us 120 amp hours. Okay, so 120 amp hours. Yes, this battery looks like it because they are big in size, but no testing capacity is out of it. So I will check the cell voltages now and see if it was because they were not balanced or something. I scanned the QR code. I couldn't get any results. The QR code looks like fake, and yeah, I couldn't find any information about them. Okay, so this looks like 120 amp hour battery, but looks like Second Life. Okay, so looks like Second Life battery, but for the price, I won't say it's a bad idea because it's, so let's test the voltages because I've charged this to full. So let's see. Okay, so you can see 3.428. The second one. Okay, so you can see 3.3. So it's not balanced. Okay, so you can see this is not balanced at all. So let's see. So 3.3 as well, and let's check this other voltage because it keeps cutting off. Okay, so yeah, you can see 3.35. So these cells are not balanced, and even at that, we shouldn't be losing a whopping 20 amp hours. The battery kept shutting down before 14 volts. So around 14 volts, the battery shut down. So you can see this is cell 1, cell 2, you can see cell 3, you can see the variance is just way too much, and cell 4. Okay, subscribe for more of this. Thank you. Bye for now. I will do a capacity test. I will do a top balancing of this battery. So I will use an external BMS. So I have some BMS lying down over there, so you can see. So that's a BMS. I can use that to do the top balancing. All right, so I'll do a top balance and see if we're able to recover some capacity from these cells. But anyways, the price of this battery is 206,000 naira. That is 206,000 naira. So is it worth the price? Let me know in the comment section.